Hey, TVs, this is Bob Hickman. It is so rocking to be back with all of you. Well, I want to say thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video. We had a wonderful talk about life in the solar system. If you didn't see that, that's the video right before this one. Check it out. Actually, it's two videos because last night I put out a second video, which a lot of you haven't seen yet. You got to go check that out also. It's an advertisement for my daily horoscopes. As many of you here know, I do daily horoscopes over at my website, and it's at robert-hickman.com. I'll put the link below. But yesterday here on YouTube, I designed a kind of a little commercial to promote that, and I think you guys will like that. So definitely go after this video, go to the video right before this one. Check that one out as well. So you got two videos from yesterday, life in the solar system, and then horoscopes video. So definitely check that out. Anyways, I am so glad you're here, and we're today going to do messages from the spirit world. And a lot of you are new here. You've had a lot of questions saying, how does this work? What do I do? Well, listen, it's real simple. First of all, I want to answer the big question. Is there a cost for messages? No, absolutely free. I do this as a gift to the YouTube community. So all you got to do is send me a letter either at my website, which is a link below, robert-hickman.com, or you can write me in the comments box below this video. So either way, we'll get your questions. And, each week I grab a bunch and we see what the spirit people have. So that's how it works. Real simple. Anyways, I'm so glad you're here. And before we get into all the questions today, let's just take a moment and center ourselves and attune to the spirit world. Okay, I hear my guide Fletcher back here. All right, our first letter today is from Tammy Be. Hello, Tammy Be. And she writes, and she says, "Hi, Psyche Bob. Can you tell me what you see for me, please? Love, career, anything else?" Sure. Hi, Tammy. I want to step into your frequency. Because when I step into your energy field, I get around you a lot of yellow light and a lot of orange light right now. Yellow light means that you're at a transition where there's a lot of learning coming for you. And I feel that as we get closer to the end of summer, August, September, there may come up some issues connected to career around you, in a sense going back to school. I see a degree coming in here around you. So I feel like by the fall, you're back in school. So that's going to be a kind of part of your career is to be a student this upcoming year, okay? Now in the area of love, I want you to watch because around July, I pick up a lot of transition energy here for you in the relationship area. You have a lot of orange in your aura, which means you're drawing people into your life. And I feel like around July, there's a new relationship here for you. What's interesting is I feel there's already somebody around you, kind of has their eye on you, or maybe you like them. And I feel like this is already somebody that you know. But it seems to be around July that friendship turns into a little bit more of a relationship. So I do see you moving forward this year, and it's going to be July, and then also a little later around September, August, end of August, beginning of September. In work also, because you have a lot of orange light, I want you to focus on creative projects, work where you get to express yourself. You'd be very good, for example, in public relations work, advertising, marketing, or even communications. These are all areas where you have a lot of strength. So anyways, hope that helps a little bit. Thanks for writing. Blessings to you. All right. Our next letter is Shadowlander. Hello, Shadowlander. Shadowlander writes and says, "Hey, Bob, what are some of my psychic abilities? Any suggestions for tapping into those and learning to use them? This would be greatly appreciated." Shadowlander, around you, I get a lot of purple light here. This tells me that you have some psychic gifts, particularly clairvoyance. I feel like you get visions. They could be dreams, but I get a sense also like psychic flashes and premonitions. And I want you to kind of start to honor that. If you get a kind of a premonition or a flash, write that down because I feel like even if you don't understand it, it's going to start to make sense. And I really feel like the next 3 months for you, that if you start recording your impressions, your senses about things, you're going to have a little written record and see, wow, that you really are getting accurate information. I also get around you pentacles in your aura, which tells me that you have some gifts in the area of working with psychic power, particularly in the form of magic. So I'd like you to be open to doing some research on magic, either ceremonial magic or witchcraft magic. There are a lot of forms of magic, but I do see power around you as if you're a channel. You know how to channel energy through your body. So that's also one of your spiritual gifts. And I feel like you can channel it in, mold it, and then send it out. And that's a spiritual power. A lot of Wiccans use this sort of energy. So, you know, if you're interested, you should consider also joining the Order of the Purple Cord, okay? But yeah, that's some of your gifts. Clairvoyance and some magic, channeling magic power, okay? Hope that helps. Thank you for writing. All right, our next letter is Monique Espinosa. I love that name. And yeah, I remember you, Monique. Hello. And she writes, she says, hello, Psychic Bob. You may remember that you did a reading for me a few months ago and said that my relationship will be ending in June. And to tell you the truth, lately my relationship has been rocky. I'm so sorry to hear that, hon. Should I stay or should I go? Which direction do I move forward? Yeah. You know, Monique, first of all, I want to say I'm sorry about the struggle in the relationship. You know, I don't like it when I'm right about things like that. But at the time, I did see it around you, and unfortunately, it is manifesting. When I step into your frequency, I get around you I get gold light, I get a lot of royal blue light here, and a lot of white light. And what that means is that you are now getting a lot of power to push forward. Royal blue light really talks about honoring your wishes, your commands. And I feel like you're in a place where you want to kind of start saying what you want out of life. Gold light means that there are people in positions of power around you that are going to support you in your decision making. So I feel like this is an important time to honor yourself. In terms of moving, you asked about should you move from your home or to a different town. I actually see you staying locally, but I don't see you living with your boyfriend. So if you do a move, I do feel that it will be local at this time. And I would encourage you to stay local because this is where I see power growing around you. I don't want you to leave him in the sense of like saying, okay, now I'm done, I'll go to another person. I'd like you to take some time for yourself to really develop your gifts, your skills. You have very powerful communicator skill with that. That royal blue light really means that you have the power to instruct, to teach, to direct people. And I really feel like, you know, in your current job, I see promotion around that to where you have more influence. And so I don't think you necessarily need to leave your job now, but I do feel like physically a change to a different residence in the same area would be beneficial to you. I don't see you moving back with your mom, and I don't feel financially you're going to have a struggle going forward. So as we go through the summer, all I'll say is I want you to be open to honoring yourself and letting yourself move forward in a way that honors your commitment to your journey, okay? I have to be honest, I'm not picking up renewal or, you know, renewal energy in that relationship. So unfortunately, I do feel that it's at an end, but I see you being fine. And I feel like, you know, around your boyfriend, he may, you know, get a spiritual wake up from this. I think he kind of needs to stop making assumptions. I feel like you're putting all the work into the relationship, to be honest. And I just don't see a lot of growth there. And I think it's for you to honor yourself to move forward in love, without vengeance, but with confidence. All right. Hope that helps us, and blessings to you. Thanks for checking in with me. Okay, our next letter is from Renee Ahi. And they said, hi, Bob. I want to know if I will be selected for the job I applied for. I so much want to do this. Yeah. You know, I have to be honest with you, Renee. I see you getting it, but I think there's going to be just a little bit of delay. So don't panic if they say, well, we haven't decided, or it seems to drag on a little longer than they plan. I feel like this process is going to be slow, but I do see you making career advancement this year. And I feel like as we go like into midsummer, this is where I get transition energy around you. So I do see success for you, and I see you moving forward. And what's interesting is I almost feel like the people that you've applied for may also come back with a different job offer for you. So like you may have applied for one position, but they're going to say, well, we also have this other, would you consider it? And I feel like either one that you take is going to be fine. So be open to a second offer. But as I said, as we get into mid-July, midsummer, it looks like you're moving forward. Okay. Hope that helps. Thank you for writing. Blessings to you. All right. Our next letter is Terry McWethy. Hello, Terry. Terry writes and says, Dear Bob, what are the conditions for my loved ones in the spirit world? Are they in pain? Can they walk without pain? Are they cold? Can they still remember that they are missed and loved? Thank you, Terry. Hi, Terry. Listen, these are wonderful questions. Well, as for your loved ones, they're all in the light. Now, see, when a good person, a person who's attuned to their higher self, attuned to God, goes over to the spirit world, they let go all that physical pain. It literally just falls away. So as for your relatives, they're not in pain, okay? They can walk freely. Their new bodies that they have are spirit bodies. They're unencumbered by the physical ailments. That's all left behind when you cross over. Are they cold? No. People in the spirit world don't have the pain bodily sensations that we do. They are not limited by their physical selves because their spirit body is an eternal body that knows no suffering. It's a light body that doesn't experience suffering. It can experience feeling and pleasure, but it doesn't experience just the pains and aches of the body. Can they still remember that they are missed and loved? Absolutely. And the wonderful thing is those in the spirit world, it bothers them when we grieve immensely because they're over there and they're like, oh my God, life is so great. I'm in such peace. Why are these people on earth crying? They do realize that they're missed and they miss us too. But over there, their perceptions are so acute, so clear. Their understanding is such that they know that time and eternity are interlinked and that the earth life is so short. Like you might be 20, like let's say a married couple, somebody dies, they're 20 years old, the couple, and the wife is young and has to go the rest of her life without this guy. Well, when that husband who died at 20 is in the spirit world, he looks at the next 80 years of his wife on earth as just a second. They understand time differently there. So when we think, oh, I got to go through 80 years without this person, I'm really suffering. People in the spirit world say, oh, it's only 80 years till they're with us. Oh, it's just like 5 seconds. So they don't suffer in the sense of the separation in the way that we do. That's one of the gifts of going to the spirit world is you transcend that limited view to where you can understand that 80 years where you are is like 5 seconds. So they don't grieve there like we grieve here. But they do love us, and they know they're missed and loved, and they can hear us. We should always talk to the dead. Sometimes I'll just walk through graveyards and say hello to the people. I'll feel spirits, because a lot of the people that are very, how should I say, not so advanced, they still have such a connection to their physical body that they hang out at graveyards because they think like, well, I'm there in the ground. When really the fact is they're not having to be attached to that body in the ground. But this is why we should always pray for people in cemeteries, because a lot of souls hang out there with the misguided view that they have to stay around the body. But for those who let go of the body and go to the light, they're free. Absolutely free. Okay. So these are really wonderful questions. And, I think it's wonderful. You should always pray for your family. Everybody that you've written about, your parents and others, they're all in the light, okay? So not to worry. So they're not suffering. So you ask for them to help you because they're in an enlightened state now and they can give help and guidance. One of the things that's nice to do for our deceased loved ones, and I probably should do a whole video on this, is to create an altar for the dead. And it doesn't have to be complex, just some white cloth, glass of water, maybe a white candle, some pictures of those you want to honor. Real simple. Keep it very simple, but it's a wonderful way to connect with them. Anyways, I think actually I'm going to do a whole video on that, but I like your questions, okay? So the people in their spirit bodies do not suffer. Now, actually, I want to go on a tangent here with this because there's another point I forgot to mention, which I think is important, is that there are souls in the spirit world who do suffer. So let me clarify that. Your family are not suffering because they're in the light. But if you stay earthbound, if you refuse to go to the light, you will be in your astral body exactly as you were in your physical body. When you don't go over, you carry the bodily infirmity. So there are people who are cold in the spirit. There are people who have pain in the spirit. But most of these really are earthbound souls or souls in purgatory. And part of the reason why purgatory exists is to literally awaken people to the truth of spirit and to help them let go of the bodily conception of life and understand that they're transcendent souls. And so a soul in purgatory may experience physical pain and suffering and anxieties, but that's only allowed so that they will literally snap into reality. Okay, so if you know of a soul and they've gone to purgatory, always pray for them, but pray for them to have wisdom and enlightenment and awaken. None of your family that you wrote about here are in that situation, so they're fine, okay? But I think I should add that for others who may not understand that, okay? So always encourage souls to go to the light. They shed all that anxiety and that pain and suffering. Thanks for writing. All right, our next letter is from Ditto Law. And Ditto Law writes and says, "Hi, Bob. I've been having a hard time with anxiety for a while now. And it's really making my life very difficult, which isn't great because I am 17 and need to get on with my life like everyone else my age has. I'm wondering if you can give me some advice to get through this. Thank you so much." Hi, Ditto. Around you, I pick up two different issues here. You do have some psychic gifts. You have purple light around you, which for me as a psychic means that your nervous system operates at a higher frequency. So you definitely are tuned in to spiritual realities. You may not feel like you are because then the anxiety that accompanies that shuts you down. So from an energy place, it's kind of like you're in a yo-yo. It's like you're really up and then you crash. You're really up and then you crash. I do feel also you do have depression around you. So you actually have an imbalance of depression and anxiety, and one triggers the other for you. And I don't know if you've been actually diagnosed with that, but I would like you to work with a doctor because I think that they're going to see very quickly kind of the patterns that are playing out around you. Okay, so that I think is important. In terms of moving forward with your life, it's first of all important that you balance the body. Remember, we're three parts: body, mind, and spirit. And if we neglect any one of those, we're out of balance. So like right now, your body is actually out of balance because you have some chemical imbalances. And modern medicine can really go a long way in fixing that, okay? The next thing is your mind I want you to focus on because your mind races. Some of that, again, is chemical imbalance, but some of that I feel around you is also that you have not learned how to ground and center your mind. When you do that, it then grounds and centers your spirit. So I'd like you to focus on meditating every day. But I'd like your meditation to be a very specific type of meditation. I want you to do what's called an open-eyed meditation. And I want you to get a little rock, gemstone called hematite. This stone is a blackish gunmetal gray, and this will help balance your energies. But I want you to get a piece of hematite, and I want you to put it on a table in front of you. And then I want you to focus on that, meditate on that. Just stare at it. You don't have to go into big trance. Just look at it, study its shape, study its indentation, study the way it bends light. As you do that, you train your mind to focus. This will help slow down the racing thoughts and bring you greater control. You will see one of the end results of this daily practice is that once you learn how to really focus, you'll be able to do it quicker and quicker. In the sense of like, instead of taking 5 minutes to totally get into where you're ready to meditate, you'll be like, okay, now it's only taking me 2 minutes. Then it'll be like instant. You can be like, I can look at that rock and instantly be in meditation mode. We call that alpha state. Once you're in alpha state, your brainwave patterns slow down. And this has a general overall effect of not only helping you to concentrate, but it relieves stress. And many people, the alpha state induces feelings of euphoria and gentle peace. So this is a natural way to kind of get back control of the mind. And in turn, as you do that, it allows you access to the subconscious, which will then help you to tune to your spirit. One of the other things I want you to do is get a bowl of salt and put that on your bedstand at night. I feel like you're having imbalances in your sleep cycle. Salt is a purifier. Because you have a natural psychic tendency, your energy is chaotic, particularly at night. When everybody else is sleeping, it's like then your energy's stepping up. Salt will help slow that down, and also put that hematite stone near your bed at night when you sleep, okay? When you say, how do I move on with my life? Once you start these healing processes that I've suggested, and you work with the doctor to balance your body's chemistry, you're going to find that things don't seem overwhelming. One of the struggles that I pick up around you is that I feel like your depression and anxiety induce feelings of being overwhelmed. And what that does in your case is it makes you freeze and be inactive. Like, for example, like you're 17, you're at the age where you're probably going to want to start, taking college entrance exams like SATs or ACTs, and you may need to do applications. And I feel like for you, when you get in that anxiety mode, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what school to apply for. Oh my God, these applications are so long. And you just shut down. And then you go into the mode of inactivity, and then nothing gets done. And this is going to create a backlog for you. And it does have long-term ramifications if you don't get control of it. So the good news is that I do see you succeeding, okay? I want everybody here at Spirit Channel to pray for Debra Law. Let's send some healing energy to her. Ditto, you're going to be for him or her. I'm not sure if it's a guy or girl. Okay, well, Ditto, forgive me. I get a lot of letters. Well, anyways, you're going to be fine. And, everybody here is a team. We all help each other. So I want everybody here to also send some energy to Debra Law. And let's help you get beyond that frozen place to a place of productive activity, okay? You can do it, and you're going to make it, okay? So anyways, I hope that helps. I'm sending blessings and prayers to you. Thanks for writing. Blessings to you. Well, guys, listen, that's all the time I've got for letters. I so enjoy being here with you. I hope you guys will keep it here. We're going to have more tomorrow. Don't know what we're doing yet. Tell me what you want. Put some comments in the box below. We'll see what we can do for you. Anyways, thanks for being here. And of course, next week, we'll have another Messages from the Spirit World. In the days of old, the ancients looked to the stars for the answers to the mysteries of life. Today, we can still look to the stars for the answers to the mysteries of life. I'm Bob Hickman, and I hope that you'll join me each day at my website for your free daily horoscopes.